G'day guys, thanks for joining me. If you've tuned in, it's because you're wondering how to make one of these. It is completely redstoneless, pistonless, automatic kelp farm. Kelp is good for a variety of reasons. Of course, it's a really great resource, but there's a really cool mechanic about redstone that not everybody knows about. It's that it will grow into a sloped water block, but once it's there, it will actually then harvest itself because it can't grow in the air. So you see this block as kelp right here. It's currently up above the water level. It can't stay like that. And in a slope block, it will pop itself off once it grows just a little bit more. And then because you have a sloped water block, it's all going to just then funnel into these hoppers here and then into the chests. And it works like a dream. You can make these as big as you want, and they're extremely efficient. Now I'm going to show you how to make them. So if you don't get the total idea, one thing I will mention is previous designs or other designs that I've seen. Either you're going to have these kinds of systems where you've got one piston, one observer per kelp. It fires off as soon as it sees that it grows, or you've got massive towers like this, where the kelp will grow, all the pistons will fire off, and that'll hit the sloped water block at the top and then feed into hoppers down here like this. These are really efficient ways of doing it. They absolutely work. The only problem with them is that they're very expensive. So just using water and kelp, you can have a really cheap system of doing this. So the first thing you got to do is create your sloped water. That's the number one priority. So what you need to do is have any bit of ground that's 2 blocks deep. You're going to have one on top of one block, you're going to have your sloped water, and on top of the other one, you're going to have your kelp, which is going to then grow into it. Do this as wide as you like, but each, I guess, like section of the farm has got to be 8 blocks long, because you're going to have 7 blocks worth of kelp at least. And that's as far as your water stream is going to go. So you'll see I'll pop one water stream in the corner here, and it'll go the 8 blocks, but it won't go any blocks further. So what I'm going to do now is just fill this whole thing. And there's my sloped water all the way across. Now I'm going to leave this block at the end, and I'll show you why when I do this. It's a pretty handy tip. So I'm going to destroy all these iron blocks that are in between. This will only take a second. And then I'm going to plant the kelp on the blocks underneath. You can plant kelp on any block, I'm sure you know. It doesn't need to be sand or anything like that. And I find this really handy. Reason being, I like to have a lot of coal. So I only use kelp for smelting, and then all my coal can just go towards my torches, and I use my torches for exploration. So I just plant the kelp like this, easy peasy. Now because as well, the slope itself is only right above where the kelp grows, it doesn't really matter about the growth height and how that looks. So what's going to happen is this is going to grow into the slope, just like the example over there. It's going to pop off then, and you can at the bottom here is make another water channel, and then you can direct your kelp to go anywhere. If you want, you can make it go into a hopper, and then that kelp will then collect in your chest. Easy peasy, right? So that's one way of doing it. You can as well if you've already got kelp going, and this is how I discovered this in the first place. It was by complete accident. If you've already got kelp growing down the bottom here, and let's say it comes all the way up here. So what I was doing was, when I was manually collecting it, I decided to build a container like this for the kelp to farm it in, and then I was creating sloped water at the top so it would collect automatically. And this is how I found it actually farmed itself automatically. So what you can do if you want to create sloped water in any kind of block, and I'll give you a really just quick example here, just make it too wide, just so you know kind of what's going on. Let's fix that up. So all you need to do is place blocks underneath, like so. And then take away everything but what you want the water source to be. So at this point, you don't even need a bucket. You can do this without iron. As long as you're just near anywhere with water, you can then create your own slopes. And then all you need to do is those blocks underneath that you placed, you just get rid of those. And there you've got your sloped water on top of the water that you already had. Easy enough to do, right? So then when your kelp grows, it'll pop out of that water once it gets to the top. Also, you can do it like this, the stair formation. This gives you, I guess, more flexibility with a single water source. You can just keep going down and down and down if you like. I created on a friend's server, I created one that went all the way underground and then had a little tunnel system, which then pushed it up into our base using dispensers. But easy enough to do. You just create water source at the top, the stairs then funnel all the way down onto the iron blocks, and then again you can just create your own funnel system using water channels there, and that'll take it exactly where you need it to be. And all you need to do with the kelp then is just throw it on the stairs. Another benefit being is that you can absolutely maximize the efficiency of this kind of design as well. Down here, you can then plant even more kelp, and this will all farm as well, which is really handy. So that's how to do it, guys. That's your automatic kelp farming system. You can see the stuff over here has already started to grow. That'll be popping off in no time. None yet. But, you know, it's only just begun. And once this kelp starts growing and starts popping off like this, then it's not long before it's just constant. And you'll probably find that you're getting a lot more kelp than you can smelt at the end of this. As you can see, this stuff is just keeps going and going. So yeah, that's how to do it. Easy peasy, right? Well, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy your next kelp adventures. I'm going to give myself a quick plug as well if you want to check it out. I've just started off a brand new survival server on Twitch, so if you want to see me do some of this stuff live, check out my Twitch account. It's twitch.tv/epwafer, and I'll show you a lot more of some cool stuff that I found that you can do, and on the console edition as well, which makes it, in my opinion, a little bit harder. But I found some really neat ways to get around stuff. Otherwise, I'll chuck up some more YouTube videos showing you the kind of workarounds that I found for working with the console system. But otherwise, until I see you next time, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you around.